potentially reducing the charges or affecting
tragedy as the legal system balances accountability with the
Why an insanity plea would be very hard for Nick Reiner after being charged with murder in connection with the deaths of his parents, Rob and Michele Reiner. It remains unclear, but it's a defense with a historically low success rate in court, according to legal experts.
just awareness and intent, making an insane
his mental capacity. This action, according to experts,
requiring
To be found not guilty by reason of insanity, that is a very difficult legal hurdle to overcome in California, Niyama Ramani of California's West Coast trial lawyers, who is not connected to the Reiner family case, tells People. You have to prove between disease or defect the defendant does not know the nature and consequences of his actions. Essentially, you have to show that the defendant doesn't know right from wrong.
advised against making snap decisions. Singer Reiner believed they still had time to support their
potentially
The When Harry Met Sally filmmaker, 78, and his wife, Michele, 70, were found dead in their Los Angeles home on December 14th. Their son, Nick, 32, was then arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. He is being held without bail at Twin Towers Correctional Facility, where a police source told People he was put on suicide watch in solitary confinement.
making an insane
his mental capacity. This action, according to experts,
requiring proof that a defendant did not
His charges carry a maximum sentence of life in prison without parole or the death penalty if convicted. It is very hard, says Ramani, for most defendants to achieve a more lenient sentencing by pleading insanity in court. Jurors almost always reject this defense. It only works a very small percentage of the time. That's partly because of where an insanity plea falls amid legal proceedings, he continues.
snap decisions. Singer Reiner believed they still had time to support their
potentially reducing the charges or affecting
Noting that first, prosecution must prove culpability and the defendant will argue something like self-defense. In the second phase, he continues, the burden's on the defense. Lawyers will typically attempt to argue a defendant is legally insane, thus reversing the earlier narrative. Then they gotta turn around and say, oh, you know what? He actually did it, but he was insane. So jurors don't like it, and it's rarely, if ever, effective.
requiring proof that a defendant did not understand
the weeks of mounting worry over Reiner's declining mental health.
insane,
In the case of Nick facing 2 counts of first-degree murder in connection with the deaths of his parents, with a special allegation of using a knife, surrounding circumstances could make a successful insanity plea difficult, New York criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Randy Zellin tells People. In a court of law, a history of bad blood could point to a possible motive.
Reiner believed they still had time to support their
potentially reducing the charges or affecting
tragedy as the legal
Mitigating not knowing that you're engaged in criminal offense conduct, says Zellin, who is also not affiliated with the Reiner case. Nick and Rob argued at Conan O'Brien's December 13th holiday party the night before the deaths, according to sources. Zellin offers his opinion that the manner of Rob and Michele's death
suggest awareness and intent, making an insane
his mental capacity. This action, according to
suggests a conscious objective to kill, and his following actions, such as reportedly checking into the Pierside Hotel in Santa Monica, California, shows a level of awareness and reality. That's what we can say. Don't forget to support our channel by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. We thank you all for your support.
the emphasis now is on the courtroom, where renowned defended that rather than alleviating his ailments, the modification